Premiership Rugby is getting underway in about 1 month's time. It's a competition I've never really followed kind of week in, week out. I drop into the Premiership every now and again. The timing of the games is usually not that pretty for us in New Zealand. 2 or 4 in the morning is the standard. Some of them tend to be on like 6:45 in the morning. I think that's the Friday games, at least when I've had an early look at the schedule. That's how it looks like it's going to go for 2021, 2022. But anyway, I will see if I can make a bit more effort with the Premiership this year. When Eddie Jones named his initial England squad, I thought, goodness me, I don't know half of these guys that he's named without the British and Irish Lions guys and all the guys who were in the playoffs. So, it's about time I watch some more Premiership. I doubt that I'd be able to see every game, but at least 1 or 2 games a week would probably be nice, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at the odds for 2021, 2022. These are bookies odds, so take them with a bit of a grain of salt. I've converted them into percentages, so forget about the over-round that the bookie puts on to make it kind of more in their favour. Just a basic percentage out of 100, and I'll give you the bookies odds as well in case you like a wee bit of a punt, so you'll kind of have a bit more context to put that in. And you guys can let me know if you think these are kind of fair or if they've got it way wrong. Starting at the bottom with a 0.6% chance to win the Premiership title this year, it's Newcastle Falcons. They're I don't follow the Premiership that much, like I mentioned, but I do know that Newcastle have kind of been up and down throughout the years. They're paying $151 over here in New Zealand to win the whole thing. I do see they've brought in Mike Brown from Harlequins, so he'll spend the last year or two of his career with Newcastle. So hopefully he has a fairly good kind of send-off within. I know his departure from Harlequins wasn't all that kind of great, was it? But anyway, hopefully he has a good season. Next, on 0.8%, paying $101, that's London Irish. So not favoured to do a heck of a lot better. And, I mean, as I said, from the time that I've been kind of loosely following the Premiership, seems to be mostly those guys that kind of swap places season in, season out, right? But with Saracens going down with the kind of salary cap thing, these guys have had a wee run. So, we'll see how they go in 2021, 2022. But either way, neither of them fancy to do a heck of a lot. Next, and kind of on the same ranking with 1.6% chance, we're paying $51. It's Worcester and Gloucester. Now, again, I don't follow the competition enough. I know that Gloucester used to be a wee bit higher up the table than this, but they had kind of a hard showing last year. I know Ackerman left. That's the coach, Johan Ackerman left. What was it, a year or so ago now? Seemingly with things not kind of all that well, but his son is still there as far as I'm aware. Last that I checked, I know they're bringing in Adam Hastings, so maybe things are looking on the up for Gloucester. Not sure. 1.6% would indicate otherwise. Worcester brought in Duan van der Merwe, which is not a bad thing. He's a bit of a big unit, isn't he? So hopefully he'll kind of cause some havoc on the wing for the Warriors. But like I mentioned, either way, neither of them is predicted to get a lot done. Likewise, Leicester Tigers and Bath, also kind of by the bookies, not rated that highly. 3.1% for them. That's paying $26. I know Zach Mercer left Bath, seemingly kind of not wanted at England level, so taking, I guess, a bigger money offer over in France. Interestingly, though, for Leicester Tigers, they've got this fella in, Hosea Salmaki. If you haven't heard of him, I only know him because he played with the Sunwolves, which was the Japanese team in Super Rugby for a few years. And he's quick and pretty powerful. He was named the Tongan Godzilla when he was in Japan. So he's recently been capped for Tonga when they got a hiding by the All Blacks. But he was one of the kind of bigger name players on a team full of kind of amateur guys. So look out for him. Hopefully he gets the ball in some space as well, because he's a proper entertaining player if he can, like I said, get a bit of ball. And rounding out the kind of bottom of the lesser favoured teams are also Northampton and Wasps, the guys whose jersey I am wearing. So, it seems like there's a kind of fair bit of comings and goings from certain teams. Some teams are a wee bit more stable than the others. Wasps seem to have a few guys coming in and going out. Francois Hucart, I think, has signed for Wasps. Likewise, Vaya Fafita, kind of one of those unwanted All Blacks guys who couldn't even really make his Super Rugby team starting lineup in the last year or so, but hopefully he has a bit of a kind of reinvigorated time when he makes his way up north. For Northampton, Rano Augustus, the former kind of world player, junior player of the year 2017. He's been playing for the Stormers, another guy who's kind of never quite met his full potential yet, at least for the Stormers. So, again, hopefully when he goes up north, that can kind of unlock a bit of his potential. We have seen a few guys from south kind of head north and then just kind of find an extra gear. So, yeah, those are the bottom teams. Now we move to the other side of the board. Still not in double figures there in terms of percentage. 6.2%, and it is the reigning champions. It's Harlequins, kind of not given a heck of a lot of a chance to repeat their efforts from last year. I've seen a few kind of jokey jokes on social media about how surprising it was that Harlequins won the title last year. Well, they did it, man. They're paying $13. So yeah, 6.2% chance they converted. They signed a few guys, Hugh Jones, Tommaso Allen, where he fits in with Marcus Smith playing, I'm not sure. But Harlequins seem to be a fun team to watch, man. They had a bit of a turnaround, I know, in fortunes as well. So hopefully there'll be a lot of kind of neutrals favourite this season. I'm not sure. Sometimes the kind of inner workings of the rivalries in the Premiership's a wee bit lost on me as to who kind of hates who. Does everyone hate Harlequins, or do people like Harlequins? I don't know. Next, you've got Sale. Sale are also kind of one of the more favoured teams. They certainly got a few South Africans, and some of those South Africans are in pretty good form for the Springboks right now, but they've also got some other pretty bloody good internationals. The Curries are there. So, I saw they've lost Wilgriff John, and Cooper Woolley's left as well. So they lost a couple of props. So I'll be interested to see how they go at kind of scrum time. But, man, 10.7% chance paying $6.50 for the Sharks. That's also pretty bloody good odds. Don't know. I can't remember. Who did they lose to in the playoffs this year? I'll have to go back and check their results. But either way, favourite to be top 4. Top 3, you've got Bristol. You got Bristol here. I know they were kind of a bit disappointed with the way they went out. I'm not sure how well liked or disliked they are in the actual, in England itself. But I know down here, Bristol tend to play a pretty fun game to watch, so there'd be certainly a lot of neutrals favourites. I know a couple of their Saracens guys, they had to go back to Saracens. Siali Pietau has left, and he's been there for quite some time, but they've still got a heap of big guns, man, to do Bristol. So at 13.4%, paying $6, they are certainly one of the favourites. Exeter Chiefs are the second favourite, so you know who that makes the favourite. But $3.50 for Exeter. Thomas Francis, I think, is finally left. He's had to go to Wales if he wants to continue his Wales career. So yeah, but Exeter, I don't think had a heck of a lot of changes in their squad from when I looked them up. And these guys, everybody's favourite, Saracens. Saracens are the favourite for the competition, paying $2.88, 28% chance. Like I mentioned, all their guys kind of coming back who went on loan for that year when they were down in the championship. But they've signed De Haas, the American halfback, scrum half. They've signed Van Sale, the guy from the Bulls. So they're kind of stacked with young halfbacks. But that's the Premiership. I mean, again, it makes sense for me. Like I said, I'm not a guy who follows the competition kind of rigorously, but Saracens and Exeter seem to be the only two teams who could win it when I first started kind of even loosely paying attention to it. Leicester being the former glory side has kind of fallen a wee bit by the wayside in recent times. I know there's been a kind of influx of Southern Hemisphere coaches at times, Boyd at Northampton, and I mentioned Ackerman at Gloucester, but players like Sopawang. I think he's left Wasps, kind of guys coming and going. But yeah, it'd be nice for me to actually really sit down and pay some attention to it this year. Maybe get a little bit deeper understanding than what I currently have, which, as I mentioned, is pretty lacking. Round 1 sees Bristol take on Saracens. That should be pretty entertaining. 17th September, not that far away. Leicester, Exeter, Northampton, Gloucester, Worcester against London Irish, Sale and Bath all on the 18th, and then Newcastle Harlequins on the 19th. Is there a game of the round I should be watching there? On paper, I'm looking at that going, I should watch Bristol Saracens. To be honest, that one looks like a pretty entertaining one. Maybe Worcester and London Irish, at least according to this, down the other end of the table, could be a pretty entertaining one as well. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts. How do you reckon these odds stack up with how the Premiership teams will finish up in this 2021-2022 season? Like I mentioned, it's pretty much just a month away now, so not too long. As I mentioned, the time zone is not that friendly for me, but I will try my best to watch a game or two per week, and yeah, we'll see how we go. You guys have any thoughts? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.